Hello and thanks for joining us from our studios in Israel. I'm Aaron Porras, here with ILTV's Morning Briefing.
United States President Donald Trump said on Saturday that he's not planning on moving the United States Embassy from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem until his peace plan is given a chance. Trump's comments came during an interview with staunch Israel ally and former Arkansas Governor Mike Huckabee on the Trinity Broadcasting Network. Trump's administration is expected to unveil their peace plan in the coming months, and President Trump explained that he doesn't want to rush the embassy move just yet, as he believes he must give his peace plan some time to be implemented. He said, quote, "I want to give that a shot before I even think about moving the embassy to Jerusalem," end quote. President Trump promised throughout his campaign that he would move the embassy from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem, and many senior officials in his administration repeated those claims as well, including Vice President Mike Pence. Earlier this month, United States Ambassador to Israel David Friedman said that the embassy will move and that it's, quote, "not if but when, and I'm convinced that during his term the United States will recognize Jerusalem as the undivided and eternal capital of the State of Israel," end quote. Friedman's comments haven't always been backed by the United States State Department though, and so it looks as if Israelis will have to wait for the embassy to move. In spite of most peace initiatives currently being drafted, Prime Minister Netanyahu has just this past week declared both an expansion to the Jewish East Jerusalem neighborhood of Ma'ale Adumim, as well as a possible annexation of the area in future peace talks. Speaking at a Likud event, he said, quote, "I declare an intensification in the momentum of development in Ma'ale Adumim. We will build there thousands of units. We are adding industrial zones and the required expansion to enable accelerated development of this place," end quote. He went on to describe how this place will be part of the State of Israel, stating that he supports the Greater Jerusalem bill that aims to keep Jerusalem unified and establish a Greater Jerusalem metro area. Critics see the move as more politically inspired expansionist behavior on the part of a conservative government. Netanyahu has continued to back the idea as simply a means to unify Jerusalem under an Israeli flag and keep it that way. Senior officials from Hamas and Fatah are expected to arrive in Egypt this week to continue reconciliation talks. Last week, Palestinian Authority Prime Minister Rami Hamdallah held the government's first cabinet meeting in Gaza in 3 years. Hamdallah arrived with a large Fatah entourage and posed for pictures with Hamas senior officials. Hamdallah declared that both factions are ready for reconciliation, saying, quote, "We return to Gaza in order to conclude reconciliation and national unity and end the painful impacts of division and to rebuild Gaza brick by brick," end quote. The two movements appear to be getting closer to reconciliation, as Hamas has openly declared that they are okay with relinquishing control of the Gaza Strip to Fatah. That said, the two factions have still not agreed on what will happen to Hamas's military wing and whether Hamas will be forced to relinquish all military control of Gaza. President Abbas even said in a recent interview with Egyptian TV that, quote, "It should be very clear that I will not accept a copy of the Hezbollah style in Gaza," end quote. In the meantime, Prime Minister Netanyahu has blasted the reconciliation talks, saying he's not interested in a bogus deal that doesn't take Israel's concerns into account. Meanwhile, Hamas's political bureau has named Saleh al-Aruri as deputy to new leader Ismail Haniyeh. Al-Aruri is known to Israel authorities as the mastermind behind the 2014 kidnapping and murder of 3 Israeli teens in the West Bank, and the terror group's head of West Bank operations in recent years. Al-Aruri operated in Turkey before having to leave for Qatar after Israel and Turkey reconciled in 2016. He then resided in Qatar but was once again forced to leave when Arab nations put pressure on Qatar to expel Hamas senior officials. Al-Aruri is now reportedly based in Lebanon. Good news for thousands of Jews who've fallen between the proverbial cracks of the religious system in Israel. There's now a genetic test that can give you proof of Judaism that you might need. As Israel continues to absorb Jews from all throughout the diaspora, a major cause for concern has begun to rear its head. In order to make Aliyah or immigrate to Israel, one must first prove under the law of return that they are Jewish. And even after getting here, certain religious rights are withheld if you're Jewish through an unrecognized conversion or of paternal Jewish roots. So for many, whose proof of their Jewish identities was either lost to the Holocaust or the former Soviet Union, or any other number of reasons, providing proof can become an insurmountable issue. Well, through a new maternal mitochondrial DNA test, scientists can now determine with upwards of 90 to 99% certainty if someone comes from a known Ashkenazi Jewish ancestry or not. Admittedly, only 40% of Ashkenazi Jews will test positive for the Jewish DNA markers, but for the tens of thousands of Jews from the former Soviet Union and Europe now trying to move to Israel or already living here, this test could make all the difference. When asked, however, if this could later lead to a Jewish gene that could then be used to identify Jews outside the Ashkenazi group too, unfortunately the answer is no. It was explained simply that there isn't a Jewish gene to find in the first place, and that again, this test determines ancestry and not Jewishness. Now, for the second time, Tel Aviv's Imperial Craft Cocktail Bar has been awarded the prize of Best Bar in the Middle East and Africa in 2017. Awarded by the world's 50 Best Bars media group, Imperial also again ranked in the top 50 bars worldwide. The bar is situated inside the Imperial Hotel on Hayalkon Street, parallel to Tel Aviv's Mediterranean beachfront, and hosts a menu of Asian-inspired food dishes and incredibly creative reinventions of our favorite drinks, like the Time to Kill, a Bombay Sapphire gin, ouzo, and Saint Germain mix shaken with mandarin jam, lime, and thyme. To earn the distinctive award for the second time, over 500 drink experts from all over the world participated in the world's 50 Best Bars vote, and were taken aback by the Imperial Craft Bar. The vote also gives just one more reason to make it out to Israel for Tel Aviv's famous nightlife, and the top 50 bars worldwide list was headed this year by two London-based locations, the American Bar and the Dandelion.
That's all for now. I'm Aaron Porras, and see you later with our main daily broadcast from Israel at 2 p.m. Eastern Time.